Tell me about your art this year.
I did a lot of good art this year.
Who are your main art teachers?
Mostly Miss Ginny.
What do you do with Miss Ginny?
Weekly classes.
How do her classes run?
Each of the students takes up a random art project that they'd like to do, and Miss Ginny helps them on doing it.
You do a summer camp with Miss Ginny?
Yep.
And what's the big project you do in the spring with Miss Ginny?
The poetry slams, where you make poetry and you make art yet illustrates the poetry.
And then it hangs in the Halle Cultural Center, doesn't it?
Yep.
And you have a public performance, don't you?
Yep.
So did you get up and read your poem?
Yep.
And you did really well this year, didn't you?
Thank you.
Last year you were nervous, but this year you were excited, weren't you?
Exactly.
That's great. Miss Ginny is great.
The only problem was a big tornado interrupted it in the middle of the show, so I didn't get to eat the food at the end of it.
Yes, we did have a tornado disruption, didn't we?
Yep.
And who is your other main art teacher?
Miss Donna.
What do you do with Miss Donna?
Mostly you do things that are sort of spiritually related.
So you've done some classes with her.
Yep.
In the summer.
Yep.
But also she does art projects with you at Journeys, doesn't she?
Yep.
So we've done some neat projects about world religion with Miss Donna in your world religion class, haven't we?
Yep.
And we also saw some great exhibits this year, didn't we?
Absolutely.
What were some exhibits we saw?
2 exhibits on Norman Rockwell.
One was in D.C., right?
Yep.
That was the collection of Spielberg and Lucas.
Yep.
And then one here in the North Carolina Museum of Art.
Yep.
And what other exhibits did we see?
I saw one on Edward Munch.
Edward Munch.
Yeah.
Prince of Edward Munch. That was very interesting. That was at the National Gallery of Art, the East Wing in D.C. Also at the National Gallery of Art, we saw that fantastic modern art collection. Remember that?
Yep.
Almost everybody in the world.
And I think we saw a couple of exhibits on Calder.
That they had Calder exhibit. And we went to the Freer Gallery of Oriental Art.
Yep. And I saw an exhibit on ancient Indian art there.
Mm-hmm. And we always go to the art festivals like Lazy Days and Art Splosion and things like that, right?
Yep.
What was a wonderful exhibit that they had at Art Splosion this year?
I also saw that really huge, really neat inflatable thingamajig.
Yeah, what is that exhibit called?
I think it was called Amakoko.
That's by Architects of Air. We just love their exhibits, don't we?
Yep, they're very nice and neat. And I took my friend there to see it.
That's right. We got to have our friends there to play with us.
Yep.
And we also like to go to First Friday in Raleigh and Final Friday in Cary, don't we?
Yep.
What happens during those?
They have art at the art galleries you can look at. And sometimes they have the artist walking about so they can talk to you about their art. And they have food.
Yep. So that's a lot of fun and another way to appreciate art.
Yep.
So we've had another vibrant year in the arts here, haven't we?
Absolutely.